Here are the 3 reasons why you're going to fail. It's just what it is. This is why it happens time and time again. I'm going to tell you exactly why and see if you can figure out what you got to do in order to make it through. The number one reason people fail are excuses. There are so many excuses in life that we've built up, we've allowed, that have become ours. We've taken on societal pressure and the roles that come along with that, where you decided that this is who you're going to become, and that's just what it is. You have a fixed mindset where you decided this is what things are, and now you've bought into it, and you found yourself stuck. You've accumulated enough bills or whatever it is that require your finances to focus on those things, because now you've got to maintain the habits that you've started. Or number 2, you are still in the world of feeling. You're afraid to step out and do something different because you're considering all the considerations. Have you ever heard the statement, "I'm just a realist"? Pure BS. It's pure BS, because those that understand that they are realists understand that they don't have enough information to be real with. Come on. How do you think we got cell phones? Because at one point they didn't exist, and someone decided, I'm going to make a cell phone. And there it is. Someone decided, we're going to fly planes, and now we fly planes. Someone decided we're going to have a laptop instead of a computer that took up a whole building. Someone just decided. Someone decided instead of carrying around an 8-track or cassette tape or CD, you can have 1,000 songs in your pocket. We're filled with excuses that come from our feelings because we've not tapped into who we are. We just allowed all of the reasons and excuses to fill us up as to why we can't. I'm here to tell you that if you don't figure out how to move past your feelings, you're going to fail. It's utterly, there's no way around it. The other thing that I want you to be aware of when we talk about this first world around, or this first reason being excuses, is you're not going to feel like it. And I don't know how many of you ever feel like doing something you don't want to do, but in order for you to succeed, you've got to move past your feelings and you got to start making choices. The problem is that we live in a world where excuses are always given to us about why things have happened. We have excuses about why we're sick. Well, I went to school and then my child brought it home and they made me sick, or I went to a party. No, we have learned to think that why our life is the way it is because of people on the outside of us. And you got to be willing to let that go. Because there's no one on this planet that's responsible for you like you are responsible for you. And the outcomes and the experiences that you have are all based in your choice. But if you don't get rid of your excuses, you're guaranteed to fail. The second reason that you're going to fail is because of external influences. How many of you are still trusting your parents to tell you how to live your life? Now, I'm not saying there aren't good parents. I hope that I'm doing a fairly good job. But how many of you are still living your life based on your parents' expectations of you instead of who you believe you are? See, that's just it. Most of us don't know who we are. So we're subjective to anything and everything Instagram says, to anything and everything a pro athlete says, to anything and everything a politician says, to anything and everything a religious leader says. We just do it because we have all of these external influences telling us who we are and what we're supposed to do. Friends, if you don't know who you are and what you're supposed to do, you're going to continue to read the script that's given to you, the prescription or the script, and you're going to follow what someone else is saying because you've not spent enough time unpacking the greatness that's inside of you. Another reason why external influences are going to drag you down is because you haven't looked at your friend group. Who's in your friend group and why are they in your friend group? What are they adding to you, and or what are you adding to them? Because most of us, we've got friends, people we grew up with, and so we're friends because we've been friends, but are those relationships still adding value to you? Because if they're not, then that friend group is creating external influence for you, and you're going to find yourself moving in a direction you don't want to go. I know you've heard the saying where they say, you are the average sum of the 5 closest people to you. Who are your 5? Who's in that 5? What are they doing for you? And I don't mean usury. That's a different conversation. I'm talking about exchange. How are you sharpening one another to be that much better? Check your 5. You might find out. And then last but not least, around external influences, we have commitments that we've made. We've made commitments to things out of culture, out of necessity, out of feeling, or it's because this is how we do it, and it's ruining you. It's limiting your ability to grow and expand because those external influences, what might my friends say, what might my peer group say, my religious group say, my work group say, what will they say? You see, peer pressure doesn't die because you're a teenager and you become an adult. Peer pressure is a lifetime. You've got to be willing to know who you are, or external influences are going to cave in and make choices for you, which means you're not making choices for yourself and you're failing. The last reason that you are guaranteed to fail, execution, follow through, actually taking action. There are three reasons why we typically don't do well on execution. I want to give you those three reasons, and we'll call it the Monday moment. The number one reason is you don't have a vision. You don't even know where you're going, let alone choosing to win. One of my big brothers tells me all the time, bro, win on purpose, Keese. Win on purpose. Meaning take the time to get a vision, figure out what the heck it is that I want, and get clear about it. What's my why in it? I learned growing up, one of Dexter Yeager, a network marketing guy, he penned the phrase, if the dream is big enough, the facts don't count. You remember the other two reasons, excuses, external influences? Well, when your dream is big, but not big enough, those things can shut it down. But when it's big enough, you can move into execution because you have your why figured out. The second reason under execution that you might stumble on and might cost you is decision. Now, when I say decision, what I mean is you might have the vision, but when are you going to decide to take action? When you decide, it means to cut off other options and move towards it. At what point are you going to decide what it is that you want to do for you? What does it look like? At what costs are you going to make adjustments to get what it is you say you want? Because if you can't decide and you want to juggle every plate, it's just not possible. You're going to fail, guaranteed. And then the last element behind execution, precision. How precise and focused are you going to be about the thing you say you want? I had a coaching session today. My coach sat with me. I mapped out the next 12 months, and oh my God. Woo! So I'm going to ask you, how are you getting precise? Are you taking time to cut away the fat to get directly to what it is you say you want to do? Are you saying no to some things so you can say yes to other things, or the only things that move forward what it is you say you want? Precision forces that. After you've decided, okay, how are we going to get there? Map it out. One of the things that we used to teach back in the day was, if you know what your goal is, then start with your goal, with the end result, and then map every month backwards from there. If it's 10 years, then you would map every year. But when you got to 5 years, you would map down to 3, and then you would start going by months or quarters to see what needs to happen to ensure you know all the way up until today, this week, the steps you need to take to win on purpose. This has been good stuff. This is the Monday Moment. Listen, I got a free VIP group coming up soon. Stay tuned. In the meantime, share this with somebody you love. Send it to a friend. Subscribe. I appreciate it. Peace.